everyone, so welcome to this video. This video is going to have two parts. So in the first part, we're going to talk about NAICON that happened between 18th November and 19th November of 2023. Then after that, we are going to do a bit of unboxing or unveiling some of the stuff that I got from NAICON, and we're going to look to just pass over the kind of stuff that usually happens during this kind of convention. So first of all, let me just introduce you to what NAICON is. If you've never heard of NAICON, you've heard of San Diego Comic Con, and NAICON is an event that brings together people who are into the pop culture, culture, and it's basically Comic Con, but a smaller version which happens in Nairobi, and Nairobi is in Kenya. Kenya is in East Africa, and East Africa is in Africa. So NAICON is, Nairobi is the capital of Kenya. So you have Nai, the first three letters, and then convention. So it's like NAICON. So it's like Comic Con, but here in Nairobi. I hope that gives you an understanding of what actually NAICON is. So it just brings together all these people who are into anime. It brings together people who are into comic books. It brings together people who just love movies. It brings together people who love comic book movies, gamers especially. And this year was nothing less of awesome. So I got a chance to go there, I got a chance to get a few things, and I got a chance to actually interact with some of the artists. And so I decided to actually create this video to, show them to you. So, number one, first thing that really impressed me was that this year's event was much broader. It happened in a mall called Sarit Center, which is one of the biggest malls in west side of Nairobi, Westlands. And it was pretty spacious, and it was so spacious that we even had there's a company that brought out 4 or 5 cars. They brought out like this, car enthusiasts were also a part of this year's edition. So we had a few Mercedes come in, we had a Bentley, we had Subarus of course, and we had a BMW. And all these, some of them were they were a bit modified, and they showed the engine, so you had the option to actually, if you're a car lover, like myself, it was pretty awesome just going there and just getting into a Bentley, looking at it, and just opening the engine and just looking at the engine. It's yes, you go into it because I love comic books, but that was an added advantage. That was pretty interesting to actually see those kind of things. The other thing is that it was a bit well organized, because so once you get in, they don't actually give you direction. You just walk in and you can take any direction that you want. There's nothing that's guiding you to wherever you're supposed to go. So you feel, rather than feel confused, you feel kind of free, because you don't feel restricted. I've always felt like I've gone to a few events, conventions, and you always find someone on the door saying you start here or go through this direction, and then you can go wherever you want to go. But that's just like, it's open, so you just walk in and mingle with all these kind of people, and different people had different booths. So for this year we had a lot of comic book people, so I got to meet local comic book producers.
My name is Ruben. Yes, I know this. Yes, I'm aware of that.
Shadow, it's Akina, what is his name?
Twende.
Yes.
Exactly. So basically this is my portraits.
Yes.
These are things I've been working on for the past 1 year, 2 years. So this is a comic book. It's a Nairobi X, based in Nairobi. So you can flip through it.
I have this.
Yes?
I have this.
You have this?
Yes, I have this.
Oh, you've seen it before?
I have. Was it Junction?
Junction?
No, but I have this. I know that I have this.
You have this?
Yes, I have this. The K I have. This one is the one that I was like, wait, I've never seen
haven't
this.
seen it?
Yeah. And it feels looks like it's inspired by a lot of Roman.
Yes, and gladiator type.
Okay.
Yes.
So why?
Because I was thinking, okay, I was inspired by it because Spartacus, let's say all time.
Yes.
So that was the main inspiration for this.
Okay.
Yes, and the main character is actually based on him. I'm still working on the story, but there will be more issues, more releases coming up. Yes, and everything will be okay. Yeah.
Good stuff. Are you also the one who did this?
Yes, it's a portrait.
This Castlevania, or what's this?
Yes, basically, it's like basically made on like Romania type of aspects.
Okay.
Also have this portrait based on actually this comic.
Okay.
Yes, on these three main characters. And then,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, good stuff, man. That's all, thanks.
I met an interesting group that worked with the Nigerians to create a comic book. So they wrote it, and then they collaborated with some Nigerian people who did the illustrations, and then they produced the comic book.
This is Votet.
Okay,
Votet is from Nigeria, but it's the first East African edition. They did a creator series last year and they submitted our stories and we won. So these are the stories.
Okay.
This is the undoing by me, Emilio, and a friend of mine called Angie. This is a sister by Kevin.
Okay.
So this follows a guy called Koono. As the story begins, he's grieving the death of a mother.
Okay.
But he's tasked by a spirit from the past, an ancestor, to save time and the future in its entirety.
Okay.
In the process of saving time, he understands and gets a chance to save the mother or to see the mother again.
Okay.
And if he decides to take that chance, that opportunity, he can't save time. So ideally, it will be just ruining everything, or nothing will be saved. So he has to choose whether he wants to see the mother one more time or to save time in its entirety.
Okay.
Yes.
So this comic was written by?
So these comics were written by us, and they were drawn by guys at Vortex in Nigeria.
Vortex. Okay, so it's like a collab, eh?
Yeah, it's a collab because it's a creative series. They were doing a competition last year. We submitted our stories, and among the four chosen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much is each?
So each is 1,000. We are doing an offer. If you buy it together, the two of them it's for 1,500. You get to sign it for you. So there are some stickers inside there.
Damn, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think I'll have
Both.
yeah.
Okay.
So that we do a review sometime in the future.
Okay, good.
So this is the undoing.
This is the undoing future. This is Six Sisters.
Okay. Are they the same story?
No, there are different stories. They are one off. It's beginning and end every day. But the way we've tried it off, it can become something, but they are one off.
Okay.
They are.
So that was pretty awesome. The covers look pretty cool. I like the size, that is pretty portable. You can actually read it wherever you want to read. Now, the one thing that I noted with this collaboration is that the quality of artwork was pretty good. The quality of artwork was surprisingly, interesting. It looked not Western. It was pretty defined, and I like the fact that it still feels like it's authentic Africa. And I like the fact that they actually brought it there, because if this NAICON never happened, I don't think we would have ever heard of these guys. So after that, I walked into one of the most surprising thing that happened during this particular edition of NAICON is that these guys who had taken this huge stand and they had a lot of comic books, and I was wondering who the hell is this guy. So I go around taking a video of the books, and then I go talk to the lady who was there, asking her if I could record her, ask something about the book. And then the lady wasn't polite. I'm sorry to say, she wasn't really polite. She was forced to be there because she was like, the person who created the comic book is not in, but the comic books are for free and you get a poster for free. So I was like, yeah, that's awesome. But it's the way that she sold the product. It's the way that she handled her stand that for me, it felt like either she was not meant to be there or the people who were there didn't make it on time. And so they just called someone random to come and sit in for them because she didn't seem like she was comfortable to be there. And at least if she was, hired to be there, she should have known one or two things about the comic books, or she should have just talked politely to the people. And they had this huge space, so I was wondering what's up with these individuals. And the books don't look bad themselves because they're free, but they're black and white inside with a colored cover, and they're all about poaching. So I was like, okay, so this is done by an Italian, but you guys didn't think that it was, anyway. Then I went to this other section that was like an open area with tables and those LAN cables, wired internet so that gamers could bring all their games. And by the time I was there, not all computers were set up. Actually, by the time I was coming in, some of the computers were being set up. But there were some crazy guys who actually brought out their PS5. Guys brought out their builds. It was pretty insane. And then they would set up and then connect to the internet, and then they would play together. I hope gamers, you know what I'm talking about. And some of these things that you're looking at are familiar. So there were moments like that where I was like, and that was like a dedicated space. So not everyone could actually enter that space. Actually, I was only allowed to enter because I told them that I was actually shooting and I wanted to document that particular space. But that space was relegated to gamers only. So you would come with your laptop and then you just sit there, meet some other person, connect your computers and just have a good time, have a great time. So that was pretty cool. Then now we went into the comic books whereby, there was Avandu was obviously there as usual. They came through. I forgot to get Rovik, which I had promised to get, but we'll find a way of finding that book. I really want to read that book. Then there was now Uncanny Valley and the rest of the team. The Uncanny Valley had a very interesting presentation because they had comic books from, they are more of a retail comic book shop, so they bring in comic books from anywhere, from the States, from here in Africa, and then they just, they retail them. And so I was pleasantly surprised to find that they had Nigerian comic books, so I picked one. And I hope it's going to be an interesting one, and I hope with time I'll get more of these African stories, because that's what I want to. I want to keep reading African comic books. I want to keep pushing for African comics to actually come out. And so we got to see a lot of comic books that they have, Western comic books, and they were pretty cool. But yeah, African all the way. And they had this beautiful stand whereby they had a space that you could actually go just sit and read. You could just chill and maybe talk to people. They had bags. They had a lot of merch.
Start from the top.
Oh, so I have a bunch of comics imported from the U.S. and these are from Nigeria. Those are all Kenyan. They're all black covers, black and black green.
So this is Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley Comics. I got my banner right down here.
Oh, nice.
Yes, please. You can pick it.
What are some of the Nigerian comics that you have?
Just these. All of these are from Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's a comic working. I will print some copies for next time. For signing.
Yeah, do you want to?
Yes. Thank you. Okay. This is 50 bucks. You can guess the characters to one.
This is
This is from the US. So this is 133 Arts.
Oh, nice.
And so they do a bunch of different things, including they have some kids comics here.
It was isolated from the one for a long time.
Good stuff, man.
And then there was an area at the center of the event. Now after that, I went to the other side of the event where they had like these open air stalls. It was like they were just given areas to put out their stuff and sell them. So I got to see a lot of interesting stuff. I got to meet the Kahin store. Another surprise. They sold me. They gave me a candle. They were selling scented candles, which for me, again, it's pop culture, but they had scented candles, and I got one, and which was pretty cool. And surprisingly enough, I didn't expect such kind of a thing in such kind of an event. But hey, that was pretty interesting. And as I went on, there was a guy I've met this guy before in a different event, but yeah, he usually sells a lot of t-shirts that are, comic book related. So he had like this super interesting, he had a Deadpool one, he had a Superman one. He had such a fantastic, collection of good t-shirts that I was tempted to actually just buy the whole thing. And after that, then there was the Super Sema section. Again, I didn't expect Super Sema to be there. They usually have an animation on YouTube, and they usually have the target are kids. And so I got to meet the real voice of Super Sema, the child who played Super Sema, the voice. I got to meet her, then I got to meet the organizers. And then they had organized this whole space for kids, so that was pretty cool.
This is a Super Sema stand.
Super Sema stand.
Yeah, we are sponsoring the whole kids zone.
Yeah.
For all our artwork. And we have Stacy.
Stacy.
Who's the voice of Sema actually.
Voice of Sema. Yes. Like the original voice of Sema.
Yeah. Change the voice of Sema.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's start here. What do you have here?
So this is a collaboration we did with Bong.
Bong.
Yeah, Bong. So they do apparel and merchandise. Because we've had merchandise in the States, we wanted to do some that's local to Kenya. Okay. So we did a collaboration with Bong. We have t-shirts, we have stickers, magnets, cups, mugs, really cool. You know this mug if you're Kenyan.
Yeah, it's pretty Kenyan. 100%.
Cards.
Yeah, that's pretty
So they're
cool.
all for sale.
They're all for sale. How much are they?
Cards at 50, mugs at 1,200, 350, 2,800.
2,000 for kids, grown-ups. This is for kids, right?
Kids, but we have grown-ups coming as well.
Okay.
Yeah, gonna look like African power. We're gonna have this for grown-ups as well coming soon.
Okay.
Then there was an area also for the tournament, because the tournament was actually happening. A serious tournament for Tekken. Yes, they had a Tekken tournament, which was, I didn't follow through with that because, time. I didn't follow through with that because I got distracted. But they had that tournament going. They had a good introduction. They had speeches. They had people brought up. It was like a proper tournament. Then there was another area that had just screens and people just playing football, just playing, playing basketball, just playing all different kind of video games, just chilling and bonding and talking and just, just shooting. And so apart from that, got to meet a guy who solved a Rubik Cube puzzle in the quickest way. I've seen this thing on YouTube. I didn't think it was possible, but there was this guy who had a Rubik Cube and he was able to solve it in less than 2 minutes. And I was like, how is that even possible? I've never even I've tried to do one with a tutorial. I've never been able to complete it. And here is a guy who did it in less than 2 minutes and he was able to actually hack it. The guy is an artist. He has a lot of merch. Forgot his name again. He has a lot of merch. He printed out shirts, but that for me was a standout. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Then I went back to the middle section where we had a lot of stuff being displayed, and I found these anime guys. And let me tell you about anime in Kenya. Anime is huge in Kenya. The anime merch was everywhere, and one particular group just totally impressed me. I think they're called Array something. I didn't catch the other word, the Japanese word, because they had a Japanese word for it. They had all these miniature, things for all these characters, and they were so super detailed. They were so good.
So who are you guys? Sorry? Who are you guys?
We are Arigato.
What?
Arigato. So it's like this. Plus gato.
God damn. What does that mean?
It's kind of a pun. Arigato.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And arigato, something like that.
One would be tempted to actually pick something because they were just so good. They looked like original. Some of them were so detailed. I couldn't even imagine what it took to either import them or actually make them, because they look like what you see. Because there was Luffy in one. There was a small piece for one for Luffy, And I thought, wow, this is pretty awesome. So they were like selling all of this, and I was like, wow, those are pretty awesome. And they had all those stickers. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And apparently they are like a real store. They're like a real store that actually sells this stuff. So that was pretty impressive. Now, going into gaming, I got to meet a former schoolmate of mine. They had developed a video game for kids. It's pretty complicated, but they had created a very interesting video game that actually helps children with maths.
What we actually have is an educational game.
Okay.
It's called Golden Math Mining.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
So, right? It's a game where this on display that you can.
Oh, there's a bigger screen. God damn.
Bigger screen.
Yeah. So how does it work? I can see there's a 1, there's a 2, there's a 3. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Press play.
Yeah.
So the game is about multiplication. Learning multiplication.
Yes.
So we have multiples of 1 and multiples of 2, 3. So let's go with which number do you want us to try?
5.
5.
Yes.
Okay, let's do 5.
5.
So when you try 5 times 10.
50, I guess.
50, yeah, you have to get 50. 50 and here's 50.
Wow, okay.
Get some points.
Damn.
5 times 5. What's 5 times 5? If you want to know, we have an idea there. As you can see, so it shows you 5 times 5. It's the same as golden math mining. It's the same as 5 plus 5 plus 5. So you can get it. Oh, it changed 5 times 9. So you have to be quick. That's 5 times 9.
I don't know.
5 times 9 is 45.
Damn.
Let's go and capture 45.
Okay. Wait, do.
Oh, I missed.
I get it. Is it meant for kids?
Yeah.
So it's.
Oh, yeah, but 5. 5 times 4. 20.
That's 20, huh?
Okay, so it changed. You have to be fast.
Turn.
And 10.
Oh. Okay.
5 times 6. You missed.
Oh, you missed. Okay. Target market of your game. The target market is.
Target audience is children from 1 to 11 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it elementary school?
Is it available on?
No, it's not yet available.
Yeah.
It will be available alongside Africa Games. Africa Games is a company that makes educational games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome, man. Thanks.
So yeah, Kenyans love anime, man. Anime is there's just a group of people who just love anime. The culture is strong. People just come up. There are people walking around with samurai swords or things like that, just walking around, and everyone just looks like they've totally embraced that.
Hi, how are you? Hello. So who is this for those people who don't understand anime like myself?
I am literally just myself.
Oh, yourself, but
Yes.
unicorn
Yes,
with a samurai sword.
yes.
Damn, that's
Samurai unicorn.
Ah, nice.
Dual wielder.
Damn. Dude, epic, man.
Yes, you'd see a DC cosplay here and there, but the standout was just anime, and that for me was pretty cool. Yes, you'd see some Marvel. You'd see some Marvel cosplay here and there, but predominantly, actually, when I think of NAICON and the other one, which is called, I think, Movie Jabba, it's the anime crew that actually just come through. if you know what I'm saying. So basically that's it. Let's move on to the next section. And apart from that, generally the event was, it was engaging. You get to meet people, you get to talk to people, you get to meet different artists, you get to meet different people with different way of thoughts, you get to meet familiar faces. And talking to these people, you get to understand just how passionate they are about pop culture. And it's one of those events, if you're in Kenya and Nairobi and it's happening, actually you can follow NAICON on Instagram. If you're in Kenya or you're Kenyan actually watching this, don't miss out the events. They're pretty awesome. And I must hand it down to them. This one was pretty well organized, according to me, because it was, yes, the place was actually, guys came through, but I like the fact that I could just walk in and just go anywhere that I wanted. There were no restrictions. I would meet all these kind of, products that are on a normal, regular day. I would have to go through a lot of headache to actually come through. There are people who are like, retailing like super awesome, rare comic books and graphic novels from whether Superman or The Flash. There were guys who were actually selling phone covers with Superman and all those pop culture icons, and it was just pretty cool. It was just cool, and I had a great time. And so we move on to the next section, which is I think the most interesting part, and this is called the unboxing part. Now I got some few things. Let's look at everything that I actually purchased. Let's look at everything that I got in 5-4. So the first one is from, I talked about Kahin. It's called Kahin. It's called Kahin. The Kahin store. Kahinian store. The guys who gave me the scented candles, potatoes. They are very poor unboxing moment. So this is pretty depth. So I got, for example, a sticker. I got a nice sticker from them. Oh no. For Spider-Man, which I thought would actually kind of play really well on my wall. I'm going to stick it over there. I'm going to replace that with this Spider-Man. Though I'm 100% all about Africans, I love sticking African artworks. If you were to see my rooms, they have a lot of African artworks, comic book based. So I got Spider-Man. Then they gave me their business card. I got Luffy, of course, a sticker, because I love Luffy. He's kind of one of the coolest characters ever. And here's the thing about anime, I keep telling you, the guys come through, so they knew that would come through. So this was pretty cool. And then I got the candle. Yes. So this is Seduction. It smells awesome. It smells really, 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 really good. And I couldn't help myself, because when I saw that, I didn't actually see I didn't see the pop culture things first. I was distracted by the fact that they had scented candles. So I had to get myself some. So this was a very good purchase. I know where exactly it's going to go. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I will leave their link below. Maybe you can look at some of their stuff. So next, we go now into the most interesting part, which is more now like the comic book. So first, I went to Super Sema and they gave me a card of this envelope. They just gave me a small card, and I was like, I want the purple one. So this is a card if you have a kid. I don't know, but I just got a card. I thought it was pretty interesting. I love the color purple. I love the character design. I love the artwork. So I got a card. Then yes. There's a part that I talked about, a Kenyan team working with a Nigerian team to actually come out with a comic book. So this is one of their books that I got. It's called Sister. It was illustrated by Vortex247.com. Vortex. Yeah. So it was written by the Kenyan guys, and then it was, I think, produced by these other guys. So it's pretty interesting style. Pretty interesting use of color. When I read it, I'm going to obviously review it. So it's pretty, you're looking at it in real time. I haven't actually read it. So it's, wow, it reminds me of Sin City, because they have applied a very interesting use of color that I've never actually really thought about. Maybe there's a reason for, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. You'll get a review of this as soon as I'm done. So that was my other purchase. So from the same team, from Sema again, Super Sema, they actually gave me this book. It's a kid's book, so I'm going to give it to one of my nephews and nieces. So they gave me this book. It's Super Sema, but now the storybook. And this was pretty cool from them. It's very well illustrated. It's very well written. It's a kid's book that I would suggest. Super Sema is such a good story. It's actually on. It's on YouTube. The show is on YouTube for free. I'll actually leave a link. It's on YouTube. It's for free. Super Sema. If you have kids, I would highly recommend this. So yeah, I pretty had a great time with Super Sema, and I love the drawings. The artworks are pretty awesome. Your kids will definitely really love this. So let's move on to the next one. This was from ADMI. ADMI is an animation institution. So they were also present, so they came to talk about animation.
Tell us a bit about ADMI.
So we're training creative digital media and technology courses.
Okay.
We have short programs and longer diplomas that run for 2 years. And also for this period in December, we have a boot camp, which is for kids, teenagers from 13 to 19-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why come to ADMI and not, say, for example, Technical University of Kenya or BIFA?
Because how we've set up our curriculum, it's a very practical project-based courses.
Okay.
So from the very first semester, you start doing projects which go to your portfolio.
Okay.
Yeah, and this makes it easier for you to get hired because you can actually show tangible results of what you can do, other than just the certificate that you had. And we also offer industry standard equipment in school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You have something to say?
Come to our campus.
Okay.
So that we can give you a campus tour.
Oh, location.
See our facilities.
Location.
So we are located in Nairobi CBD along Kenyatta Avenue,
Okay.
Caxton House. That is a center.
Nice. So these are some of the works of the
about animation, and they collaborate with Rubica is, of that company. It's a French company that produces animation, and so they had their costing. They had what else did I get? So the other comic book from the same team that gave us this. So the same team who worked, one team in Nigeria and one team in Kenya, they had produced this other book. And this, I don't know why I'm finding it hard to pronounce it. It's called The Undoing, Memories of the Future. Pretty great artwork, pretty great cover. So this is also from vortex247.com. You can actually check it out. So you have the writers, the creators, and these are the Nigeria. So the writers, I think, are from Kenya, and the illustrators are from Nigeria. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. You're watching this. So as you can see, it's created and written by these two guys. I think they're Kenyans. Then Yusuf, colored by. Okay, it's a collaboration between Kenya and Nigeria. Let me just put it that way. And so, yeah, it looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty cool. Unlike the other book, this is fully it's all colored, and the illustrations look good. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to find out more at the end. So yeah, that's basically it. I was told that this is a standalone story. There's no need to read the next book. So it's a good thing. So we have this review is coming out sometime soon. And so they also gave me something, but it was just there. And so the Undoing Memories of the Future. It also had a small sticker. So the other thing. So yeah, this is for the guy that I was telling you about, the one with the rude lady who didn't want to actually talk to people who are interested in knowing about the project. So this is an artwork that came with the comic book. So as you can see, it has Nikon on the edge. I think they were part of this, and the Italian culture of something. It's over there. Yeah, so this basically was a small poster that came with, if I can find it. Yeah, so here is the comic book that the guys, it's called Diabolic. Yeah, it's from that guy that I was talking about. So it's pretty interesting. It's in black and white. It has something to do with poaching, I think. Yeah, and so I think this is the artist. Yeah, I think this is the guy who worked on it. I think he was unable to come through for the event, and so he sent this person to come and actually talk about the products. And so, yeah, pretty had a very bad time. But generally, the art style is pretty interesting. I don't like the fact that it's in. Okay, I like the art style. I love the art style, but I'll also need to actually read it in order to understand it, and then, the review will come soon. And so, the other thing over here we have Scan Me. This is the Italian culture. This also came with the comic book. What we have here? Scavenging for stuff. This is the guy, Kataba Studios. This is the guy that I was telling you about, that they had like super good t-shirts, tees, and they had, it's called the Raim collection, the Raim collection. They have like super awesome tees. I loved them. I was like, I have to get some of the stuff from them. So this is basically their business cards. Yeah, I know business cards don't exist during this time and period, but hey. So finally, I got a comic book this is from Uncanny Valley. The guys who are the comic book vendors, so I bought this from them. And so it's from Nigeria, if I'm not wrong. And so first of all, the cover is pretty cool. I like the cover, I like how it feels. So this is like issue 1. Oh no. Oh wow, okay. So the coloring is obviously fantastic. Yeah, wow, this looks really good, if you know what I'm saying. This looks insanely good. I mean, yeah, the rendering is pretty cool. It's called Moon Dust. Review will come soon, but so far this and these two were my favorite purchases. These 3 books were my favorite purchases. I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to review the comic books in the future. We are going to have this conversation because this looks like a very interesting character. I love how they put a lot of details into the animation and the coloring and the quality of the product. It feels good on the hand. It feels fantastic. And I don't know what the story is going to be, but yeah, this is coming soon. The review is coming soon. So basically that's it. That is what Comic Con was. I had a great time. I had a great time in the cars. I had a great time with the people. I had a great time with that Bentley. I just had a great day. It was one of those events that everything just feels natural because you are with people who understand your language, the language of comic books, the language of graphic novels, anime, and it was pretty. I had a fantastic time. If you ever wondered if pop culture exists in Africa, then that's it. We have NAICON. And so basically that's it. NAICON did a fantastic job. I hope that they'll keep doing it. to actually help us discover these other people who are doing great with the comic book. So basically that's it. That's my video. I know it's a long one, but if you've come through the video up to here, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. If I was to rate my experience during the NAICON's event, I would give this 3.7 out of 5. It's way above average. If you've never read a comic book, an African comic book before, and you're here, I'll leave a link to this particular comic book. You can go and read it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.